Good morning, everybody. I'm Bart Winkler. That's Ryan Horvat. Let's get into the Week 9 picks. Brought to you by our friends at Golden Chicken and Hales Corners. Delivery and catering, 414-427-5500. I've decided to talk on 2x speed so that if you go to 2x speed, you get 4x speed, everybody. What's up, Horvy?
I feel rushed when you talk like that. 414-427-5500. Golden Chicken, which sounds delicious right now. I'm on a diet, which sucks because I like to drink a lot on the weekends, but I don't want to be like 250 pounds,
Getting there.
So all I'm thinking about is chicken, some mini tacos, maybe a large fry. Might even, I mean, we record on Thursday. Like, let's just tell the people we record on Thursday, right? But tomorrow is Friday. So most people, this is the Friday episode. You're listening on a Fish Friday. Get yourself some cod today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real cod kind of weekend around here. Temperatures are pretty nice. It's kind of a weird, wacky day.
Yeah. Maybe hop on the chopper, the old motorcycle, have a good cigar at the maybe go pick up some lumber and then head home and have a cocktail at your tiki bar before you pretend to watch the game so you could read the box score on Monday. Heyo.
Is lumber expensive again? Because I got like 10 long 2x4s.
I live in an apartment on the East Coast. I don't know what I always, what I always hated? Like when you would be like hanging out with your grandpa and he would take you to like Menards or the hardware store and you would be there for like an hour. And and
he'd walk out with nothing.
Right. But no, I would always
get those shitty candies.
Yeah. I was going to say, yeah, you get like the Tic Tac, like the candy that nobody on the planet.
That puffy orange one that tastes like poison.
I was always like, why does this man love this stuff so much, though? Like my grandpa, like I would just go over to his house and he would just be like building random shit and be like, dude, like there's got to be something else better to do with your time than just, he'd build a birdhouse. Actually, I shouldn't complain because like he built my TV stand that I still use today. Anyway, how about that Thursday night game last night? What a shit fest.
Hey, I got a question for you before we ignore talking about the shit fest that was Thursday Night Football.
Yeah.
Are you going to pay for your blue check mark?
No. Are you?
No, but here's the thing that I've realized, and I do need to bitch about this.
I never even asked for that blue check mark. They just gave it to me finally.
I've resisted talking about this because, well, this is supposed to be a sports podcast, but there is one sports figure I'm very mad at, and that's David Bakhtiari.
Why?
Because Elon Musk was tweeting again about the $8 cover charge or whatever for a check mark. And David Bakhtiari responds, love the constant trolling, which tells me David Bakhtiari is an idiot. And here's the problem. Just give me 1 minute, please, everyone. Fast forward if you don't want. 1 minute. Start the clock. I do feel like human brains have not been able to keep up with society and the constant flow of information and technology. We are not equipped to handle everything that's happening. So, case in point, Elon Musk buys Twitter, says it's going to be $20 for a blue check mark. Stephen King gets pissed, and then it's $8. Everyone's like, Elon Musk owns Stephen King. Stephen King's got all the money in the world. Why is he stupid lib? Probably. Here's the problem. If you start letting people buy blue check marks, then guess what's going to happen? Then anyone can buy a blue check mark and pretend to be you and I and say some outrageous shit we'd never say, ruin our life. In a storm, you could start an account and say, Storm Tracker 9000, blue check mark. Hey, storms are coming. Everyone flee. Blue check mark. I believe it. You can say you can just pretend to be the cops and say there's an active situation here. Everyone, and just cause chaos. There's going to a lot of we are too stupid. And everyone thinks they're close to being rich. We're a lot closer to being on the street eating SpaghettiOs out of a can than we are hobnobbing with Elon Musk at Iron Man 2's party. That was a minute and I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. I think that, man, I hate the world that we live in because
we humans think we are so developed, and we are, but we are not we can't keep up with technology, and we cannot especially keep up with the constant flow of information.
I might just delete. I don't really need Twitter. All I need in this, I think everybody just overthinks these things. Like, who cares? It's Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter will go away.
Yeah, just get off Twitter. I mean, or
AOL went away, ICQ went away, MySpace went away, Facebook's dying and then came back and then is dying again.
Why would I pay $8 though
Remember
a
Pinterest
month to be verified? Who cares?
It's not about that. That's what everyone's thinking.
I just hate how
people that will pay $8 to make up an account and ruin the world.
The world is freaking out right now. Like, people can't live without social media. It's actually really sad. Like, everybody's freaking out. I'm going to defend David Bakhtiari here really quick. You could get mad at me because I'm not like into the trolling, but like I do get a kick out of like these people that can't live without Twitter. Everybody's like freaking out right now. Like, relax. It's fucking Twitter.
Oh, I'd love to go back to 1987. From a technology standpoint.
Best times of my life. I didn't have Twitter. I didn't have Facebook. I barely had the internet. You know, I had to watch porn.
I want to look up the phone book if I need. Like I'm sorry, Golden Chicken, but if I want your phone number, I don't want to go to goldenchickenhc.com. I want to go to the phone book.
Back in the day, dude, I wanted to watch some Lisa Ann film. I had to go to the video store.
But on goldenchickenhc.com, you can put in your order for delivery and catering, and they do cater 24/7. So I'm a little conflicted.
Speaking of Lisa Ann, she follows me on Twitter.
Speaking of porn stars, they're beautiful.
Big fan. You know what else I'm a big fan of? The Week 9 picks.
All right, we're going to take a real quick timeout early in the show, and we'll come back. Me, Horvat, no more Elon Musk. Next.
The Musk
on the fan. Just kidding, but that was force of habit. More coming up next. And we're back, everybody.
Let's do this.
I said coming up next on the fan. Was that nice?
I don't know. You know what I did?
What, Ryan?
I messed up the picks. Nope, we're back. All right, you ready?
I'm fucking dying here being ready.
All right, let's start with no order here. I only bet a couple games this week, so we'll start with one that I did bet. The Los Angeles Chargers. This line opened up at 7.5.
What was our Thursday bet? What was
honestly, I didn't bet that game. I guess I would have.
Thursday morning, right now, when we recorded.
I would,
for the life of me, don't know who's playing tonight.
The Eagles and the Texans. And the Eagles.
Oh, yeah, because of the World Series thing.
Yeah, the Eagles are 13.5-point favorites.
All right, I took the Eagles.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. All right, Chargers.
Yeah, Chargers are down to being only 3-point favorites on the road in Atlanta. Atlanta +3, total 49.5 in this game. Chargers pretty much beat the hell. J.C. Jackson wasn't very good. Then he was hurt. Then he got benched. It's just kind of been a mess for them, but love them this week. I took them on the money line, but, we'll go with the consensus -3. I think Justin Herbert's going to carve up Atlanta. Nice little story, especially the first couple of weeks of the season. Right now, technically, they're in first place in that division. I don't expect that to last, though. And I think the Chargers, who are 4-3 right now, really need this win in the AFC. I think they go on the road and they win this game by at least 6 points. Give me the fighting Justin Herberts on the road.
So the spread's 3 for the Chargers?
Yeah, they're only 3-point favorites right now.
Let's just do it right away. Double cluck of the week. Chargers 6-point favorites over Atlanta. Atlanta, scrappy team. Don't want to play them unless you're the Chargers this week because they're going to go in there and kill them.
Yeah. Welcome to Atlanta where the play is play and we ride.
Atlanta is your quintessential, like, and there's 17 games now, but they're your quintessential. How'd they finish 8-8 team?
Yeah, their win total was 4.5, and I bet the under. That was not a good idea.
I think Art Smith might be a decent coach. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, dude. He's a good play caller. The Miami Dolphins opened up as 3-point favorites. We're up to 5 on the road, taking on the Chicago Bears, who steal away Chase Claypool from Brian Gutekunst. And they also, though, trade away Roquan Smith, Robert Quinn, and everybody in that locker room loved Roquan Smith. Chase Claypool, I think, helps them in the long run. They're trying to stack some weapons for Justin Fields so they could properly evaluate him. I think the Dolphins are going to roll the shit out of the Bears on the road. Tua's coming off his best game as a pro. Dolphins got better on the defensive side of the ball. I love what I'm seeing from Tua. Everybody that said, he can't throw the ball deep enough. Suck it. Tyreek Hill, 10 receptions last week. Jalen Waddle, best touchdown celebration in the league. I would kill for those guys. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers had actual NFL wide receivers, what he would do. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers was the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. They would average 55 points per game. Doesn't matter. Tank for Tua. Dolphins by 18.
Yeah, there's a whole tank for Tua, and then Tua played like a year and a half, and everyone's like, oh, he's done.
With a fucked up hip, an injury that like...
Why do we write guys off so quickly?
The quarterbacks, and dude, he had a new OC.
Even my guy Daniel Jones.
Who hated him, a defensive-minded head coach who hated him.
And people want to write off Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is great.
Me too. I like Justin Fields. I would take him over Jordan Love.
I would take him over Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't. Well, yeah, you know what? I probably would.
Well, for the future,
Yeah, I think Rodgers has actually been playing better every single week. I think
Rodgers played well, I thought, against Buffalo.
I think his team. I think the guys suck. I think
the team sucks, and I think the GM sucks, and I think the coach sucks.
And Rodgers has a pissy attitude.
Why did everybody this week?
I'll give you that.
Convince themselves that the Packers were going to make a trade, and then why was like RG3 made it his mission to try to will Brandon Cooks to Green Bay? Like, is this the first rodeo? There was no chance. I honestly did not follow the trade deadline until 3:00 Central because I was like, they're not going to do anything. Why am I going to sit there and refresh for Brandon Cooks of all people?
Well, I would take Brand. You didn't want Brandon Cooks? I want to.
Well, I would take Brandon Cooks, but we were asking like, we were treating Brandon Cooks like he was getting Juan Soto,
like he was Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
It would be a great trade if like Devontae was just like, look, because he's thinking it. I know the uniform.
Devontae is 100% full of regret. You can see it when you look at him.
The unis are cool, right? He's a teammate of mine now. He's got to be pretty jacked about joining the MGM squad. But
he's on the MGM squad?
Yeah, he's just freaking miserable.
He's got a Taco Bell in his house.
Dude, Derek Carr, we always kind of gave Derek Carr the benefit of the doubt. He sucks.
I started him in fantasy last week because I had to. I think he got me 0.3 points.
Devontae had one catch for like 4 yards on 5 targets. They
got shut out.
Yeah, they suck. You know who else sucks right now is the Packers. You know who they played last week? The Bills. You know who's on the road as a 12.5-point favorite against the New York Jets? The Bills. I got to go with the Jets plus 12.5. Jets might be screwed, though, because Breece Hall was awesome, right? He's
very awesome.
Home run hitting back who could just take it 60 yards for a tutty. And James Robinson, I like that trade, and I like James Robinson, but he's more like a grinded out like 3-4 yards per pop type back. And now, man, that's going to put more pressure on Zach Wilson. Like Belichick just blitzed the shit out of him, and they were able to get some natural pressure. But Zach Wilson stinks. He's awful. He's bad. The fact that the Packers lost to Zach Wilson is so freaking embarrassing. Oh, we haven't even talked since the Buffalo game. Let me tell you what pisses me off really quick on that game, right? Because who gives a shit about this game?
I think Buffalo will cover.
Really?
Look, Buffalo, dude, Josh Allen and Von Miller and Sean McDermott and Stephon Diggs and everybody that I watched at the podium on Buffalo Spectrum News after the game when we got back to the hotel was like depressed. They only beat the Packers by 10.
Yeah.
And Buffalo, and then the sports radio the next day was like, I don't know, man. I don't feel good about that win.
That's how bad the Packers are.
Yeah. And we're on a 4-game losing streak here. Then there's nothing to complain about if you're the Bills. So they're talking about like, well, who really is the true number 2 receiver? I thought Isaiah McKenzie would step up a little bit. Maybe it's Gabriel Davis. The tight end. I
would have called in and said Chris Middleton is the true number 2.
I almost called in.
Hey, how awesome are the Bucs?
7-0.
They may go 81-1. Their only loss being game 82 load management for Giannis. Oh, really quick. What pisses me off though? So if they just did what they did in the second half, like, hey, Rodgers, hey, no more of this shotgun bullshit. You're going to take your snaps under center. You're going to turn around. You're going to hand the ball to our best player, Aaron Jones, and occasionally A.J. Dillon. And they ran that against the Giants, the Commanders, and the Jets. At worst, they go 2-1 in those games, dude, if Rodgers doesn't play hero ball. That's what pissed me off the most about that Bills game is I was happy with the cover, but if they play like that and Rodgers just accepts that, because the reason that happens in the second half
Well,
is
how come, like Von Miller's saying
all game long, dude? Because
Von Miller's saying we're up 17 points, and then they were doing was run.
At one point, multiple defenders took their balls and put them and placed them directly on Zach Tom's forehead. And then he, in the second half, didn't even allow pressure. He got it freaking embarrassed. I watched the All-22 last night. I'm telling you, you would have done a better job in the first half than Zach Tom. Never trust a man with 2 first names or a man named Carl, and don't do tag teams with blood relatives. That's the only advice I have. All right, let's move on. You're on the Bills. I'm going to go with, we got the next
game. What if it was Lisa Ann?
All bets are off, man. I love her. The Vikings are 3.5-point road favorites. Boo. Taking on the Commanders. Maybe I should go to this game. 3.5-point home dogs.
Yeah, you got to go make up to the seat that you punched last time you were at that stadium.
I wish I would.
Well, how's your hand?
Hand's doing a little bit better. Way better than Dan Snyder and the Commanders organization.
Is he selling the team or what?
I don't know. Do you feel like, if I don't, like, he's a terrible person, so like I want the worst for him? You ever feel like some of these stories come out?
I bet he tweets and David Bakhtiari responds, "Love the trolling."
Do you ever just like not give a shit about some of these stories though?
Oh, I've said this all the time.
Like, I like to watch the football games.
Well, there's so many stories in sports, especially when it used to. Now no one cares because college kids get paid. But it's always like, oh, coach might get suspended for 6 games because they get. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. Like Bill Self, who I hate, he suspended the first 4 games of the season. Who gives a shit? He just won the national championship. I don't even get like why guys are getting suspended right now. Like, what is what did he do? And I know this because my uncle was a college hoops coach, and like he was the dirtiest sonbitch of them all. Like, they're all like, I don't care who it is. Greg Gard, the cleanest coach, the little dweeb, Josh Pastner or whatever the hell his name is. That little nerd, dude. He was involved in some crap. If you're winning in college basketball, you're cheating. You want to know? You want to know why Northwestern has been to 1 NCAA tournament? They've been to less NCAA tournaments than Florida Gulf Coast, who literally wasn't eligible to make the NCAA tournament until what, 2016? They've been to what, 2? Northwestern 1. Because Northwestern has to go to Hinsdale Central and recruit kids with a 5.0 GPA. You think Bill Self's doing that? Hell no.
Kansas's schedule is pretty weak to start, but they do have a matchup with Duke.
Want to go?
Yeah, I'll meet you there.
Giver. All right, the Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. It's a Kirk Cousins revenge game. Life right now is hell, so I would love to say that Toby's Commanders would cover and win, help the Packers out a little bit. Vikings are going to roll. They're going to move to 7-1. It's a 1 p.m. kick Eastern time, so it's not, Kirk Cousins prime time. He's going against his former team.
He is. People forget
last week they remember Justin Jefferson was on the team. He hadn't had a touchdown since week 1.
They got T.J. Hawkinson.
What the stupid ass Lions, man? What a stupid ass team. Why are you helping the Vikings?
I don't know.
The fighting play.
When I first saw that trade, I was less like, oh man, the Packers aren't trading today. I was like, oh man, the Vikings got one. I was like, thank God we don't have to see Hawkinson this weekend.
Yeah, because he would have torn. It don't matter though. It could be Joey Peabody out of Tulsa, and he runs one crossing route. The whole defense. Stokes better not be back on the field this week. You know what? I don't hate Stokes as much as I got a confession. Darnell Savage, probably my least favorite Packer since Clinton Dix. Remember when everybody was flexing their nuts because Goop made that deal, right? And moved HaHa. Well, look what that deal ended up being. Just another younger version of HaHa. Darnell
Why
Savage,
is Gutekunst so bad at drafting?
Because all he watches clearly is Georgia.
But he watches the scout. He watches Georgia when they're up 40-0. So he doesn't know the guys that are actually good.
That's why I hate when on Twitter when everybody's always like, hold on, you think you know so much? Why don't you go become the general manager? And I'm like, where's the application? Because I'll tell you this. I know I could scout better because I'm a degenerate gambler, and I'm watching Tulsa and TCU, and I'm watching Tuesday night and Wednesday night action. Nobody else watched 2-6 Northern Illinois last night and can name you the entire secondary. Goot watches Georgia clearly, and that's it. Stokes, Quay, Wyatt, like the entire team's from fucking Georgia now. You know what? You know what's going to happen? Write this down right now. Here's my early draft prediction, right? Packers suck. They lose to the Lions this week. They run for 375 yards. We lose in a shootout. They lose to the Cowboys. They shut down Rodgers. They evaluate Jordan Love. He stinks. Rodgers, maybe he comes back. Maybe he doesn't. Doesn't matter. Because Good evaluates Jordan Love, and he's like, not the guy that I wanted. I got one more shot at getting my future quarterback. Clearly, we don't care about Rodgers, even though we gave him all that money. We have no plan because we gave him all that money, and then we're rolling out Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb in the year 2022 and Amari Rodgers in 2 and 3 wide receiver sets. What they do, right? They end up being so bad. 3 wins. So they get a top 5 pick. CJ Stroud goes number 1, but Bryce Young slips in the draft because of his stature. He's small, he's skinny. Good, he's right there, though. The Packers, we get excited. All right, Rodgers is gone. Let's get Bryce Young. With the 5th pick in the NFL draft, the Green Bay Packers select Will Levis out of Kentucky. You know it. That glorified fucking tight end putting mayonnaise in his coffee. What did he throw? 5 picks the last game? Guy sucks. I keep hearing about Will Levis. People have him rated higher.
I'm already thinking of the Bryce Young, Jordan Love, Young Love headline.
If the Packers suck, I want Hendon Hooker. I want Bryce Young. And don't get me wrong, I'm not writing off Jordan Love. I just don't think he's very good. If he's good,
Bryce Young, Hendon Hooker, and Jordan Love so that our depth chart is Young, Hooker, Love.
Young, yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like Jesus. I like that too. But let me add one more question for you. If Jordan Love's any good, why haven't the Colts made a phone call to the Green Bay Packers? Because remember, they reportedly had interest in him in the draft. Instead, they're rolling out the corpse of fucking Matt Ryan, Phillip Rivers, who else?
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Now they have Sam Ehlinger, who I don't know if you know this. He played at Texas, and he always wanted to be a Longhorn. I don't know if you heard that story every time your guy Joe Tessitore told it, which was 3 times every fucking week. All right,
this kid right here, he always wanted to play for the Texas Longhorns.
And just like, dude.
And
like
now he's getting the opportunity on this big stage. Ehlinger dropped back, and he sacked. Touchdown A&M.
And like his father, like it's a really sad story because like his dad passed away, you know. But like Tessitore tells it like 3 times a game how his dad was like this huge Texas fan. I'm trying to enjoy football and I'm crying. Like
his dad
like,
loved Texas.
The way when Jen Latta drops her just dynamite stories for game day, and I'm not being.
Go down to Jen. I believe you have video of when Sam found out his dad died.
Yeah, it's like, man, shit. Anyway, are you rolling with the Vikings?
This is my Golden Chicken slow cooked BBQ ribs game of the week. Golden Chicken inhales corners 414-427-5500. Check them out at goldenchickenhc.com because I think the Vikings will win, but it will be a slow cook.
So you think the Commanders?
It'll be a little sloppier than it should be for Minnesota, but they'll get the dub. Hawkinson going to score in his debut. I like the Vikings to go to 7-1 and officially win the NFC North this weekend. Those mother effers.
The Cincinnati Bengals were shut out. Now they're 7.5-point favorites.
What happened there?
Carolina Panthers. No Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow. The Bengals, I don't think the Bengals have won a primetime game. I think they're like 1-19 in their last 20 or something like that. They didn't look good without Jamar Chase.
Zach Taylor sucks. How did
I know Zach Taylor sucks.
How did he trip his way into a Super Bowl?
Joe Burrow is awesome.
Joe Burrow is awesome.
I wish we had Joe Burrow. I'd trade Rodgers for Joe Burrow. I'm going to take I feel like I'm picking a lot of favorites, dude. I kind of like Cincinnati to bounce back and win this game by 10. This is my Golden Chicken mini tacos magic pick of the week. The Bengals minus 7.5. Joe Icy, Joe Cool, Joe, way better than the fucking Carolina Panthers and anything they're rolling out. How about DJ Moore ripping his helmet off and costing him the game? They should have traded him to the Packers. Bengals by 20.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been a penalty, though.
No, like who cares? The NFL is so stupid with that shit, dude.
You know what's getting annoying to me?
The Packers sucking.
When a defender makes a play, the whole team has to go down to the end zone. Just because everyone does the same.
No, hold on. I hate to be old man.
And then Jair does it when they're down 17.
Thank you. I hate to be old man Rivers here, man. Get off my lawn, guy.
He did that in the corner I was in at the game. Oh, he got booed so hard, and he was like, "Yeah, bring it." You fucking lost you were down 17.
Exactly. And they're just toying with you. That's why they're throwing these picks, because they're just fucking
Josh Allen was shaving points. I'm convinced of it. I saw it in person. That guy could have ran for a first down on every interception he threw.
No, seriously, though. Seriously.
That was weird. That was a weird game.
He's a cyborg. Well, I think he was trying to pad I think what he was trying to do, because he wants the MVP, like Rodgers last year, I think he was trying to pad the passing numbers. Because that
might have been the least fun game I've ever been to.
I know, and everybody's like, they showed such fight. And I'm like, what are we, fucking Rutgers showed fight? Like,
everybody was tweeting good signs for the Packers. You lost your 4th game in a row and you're trying to tell me moral victory?
I know, dude. And that's the thing. The defense. You guys are down 17 points in the second half, and you get torched by every crossing route. You are not allowed to celebrate. If I'm Joe Barry, that fucking jabroni, and dude, he should have been left there. He should have been rolling home with you and your buddy that throws up. Did your buddy get all hammed up and puke on himself this time?
No one puked on themselves.
I would have got drunk and angry in the first half. It's a good thing I didn't go. I would have got kicked out of this game. I would have been like meathead.
No, it was just I've never been to a game where we just knew we were going to leave early. We left a little early to beat traffic. You can criticize me on that, but until you're there,
I think it's kind of a puss move, but
I'd still be there.
All right. Colts are 5.5-point dogs taking on the Patriots.
By the way,
what?
I'm going to take the Panthers to cover.
Oh, Christ. You didn't even give your pick? All right.
You didn't let me. And I'm going to do it because of XFL legend PJ Walker. As the XFL's back, my DC Defenders are back, and I will.
Coming up for a game?
Yes. But I will never drive again. That 10-hour drive back from Buffalo. Holy fuck, did that suck.
Yeah. You know what else sucks? The Colts. 3-4-1 on the season. They bench Matt Ryan.
I really try to keep it clean, but these Friday shows, it's just.
Sometimes it rolls, you know? Depends what the mood is. Sometimes I want to be PG. Sometimes.
We're a 4-game losing streak.
Right, that's my point. If we're winning,
isn't the time to swear win is.
Put one of those like not safe for work motherfuckers on there, you know? And I'm going to get like real like crazy with it too because not only a 4-game losing streak, we lost to the Commanders. Like these were the games. If you would have told me we go on a 4-game losing streak, I would have said, "Oh, okay. That makes sense because you get Buffalo, you get a trap game with Detroit, you get Dallas. I don't even know who the hell's next. Philadelphia, they're going to beat us by 60.
Tennessee and then Philly.
We'll probably lose to both teams. Derrick Henry will have his nuts on somebody.
No, we'll probably beat the Eagles and be like Bucks fans and make 9-1 shirts.
No, they're not beating the Eagles. They had a better shot of beating. I think they match up better than the Bills. What does that tell you? The Bills
suck.
The Bills could have ran. And here's the funny thing: the Bills don't run the football. They could have ran the ball for 400 yards in that game if they wanted to. With Devin Singletary. The Packers defense sucks. Brian Gutekunst has a lot of explaining to do.
I thought it was going to be really good.
Either Gutekunst is shit or Joe Barry is shit, or they're both shit. But one of them
LaFleur too. LaFleur sucks.
Unfortunately, since you're an owner and a bunch of other jabronis are owners, Brian Gutekunst isn't going anywhere because who's firing him? Murphy. He's trying to get Melissa Etheridge for the halftime show. Come to my window, where I'll be betting the Indianapolis Colts plus 5.5. This is actually my golden chicken. Give me some mini tacos of chicken breasts and fries because I want to drown in grease with my sorrows. 414-427-5500 because my team sucks. But I'm wagering all my money on the Fighting Ellingers. They're going to cover this number. The Patriots are not 6 points better than anybody right now. Give me the Colts.
Where's this game? Patriots?
Yeah. Ellinger's going on the road.
I'm going to take the Patriots.
You're just taking all favorites. You're not going to win all these.
No, I took an underdog, didn't I? I took the
Yeah,
Panthers.
Yeah. All right. Patriots. The fighting Mac Joneses. Mac Jones and Zach Wilson had a mid-off yesterday. Or last week. You missed it because you were at the game. You should go back. It was the worst.
No, I watched that game. I did.
Not the worst
noon game.
They were both trying. You want to talk about shaving points? Both of those guys were actively trying to lose that game. Zach Wilson is awful, but Mac Jones isn't much better.
Zach Wilson is terrible. Maybe I really feel like I'm right on that one.
Yeah, I would take Jordan Love over Zach Wilson and Mac Jones.
I would argue that I've been accurate on every quarterback take I've had in the last 5 years, except for I thought Baker Mayfield was QB1 in that draft.
I might take Jordan Love over Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence might suck.
I'm not ready to go there yet.
You know what the Packers should have done? And Sparky brought this up. The Packers should have traded.
I'm third and long.
The Packers were going to punt on the season. Why wouldn't they give up a 5th round, 4th round pick for Calvin Ridley, dude? Because even if Rodgers is going somewhere,
Packers don't think that far ahead.
But even if it's Jordan Love next year or the year after, why not give him some real weapons? If you're going to evaluate him, we can't have him throwing to quicksand Amari. Amari Rodgers actually might be the Packers' best receiver. When are we going to have that conversation?
When are Packer fans going to not be losers at the trade deadline? Because
he's not
even if we would have made those trades for Hockenson or Claypool, people were desperate for a trade. And if we would have made a trade, everyone would be like, oh, you gave up too much.
Well, I don't think Claypool would have been a good fit in the system. I wanted him because I'm a Notre Dame guy. I wanted DJ Moore. I wanted Cooks. Cooks is awesome.
Yeah, I want not Aaron Rodgers.
I want Devontae Adams, and you know what he's doing?
Devontae Adams back
this weekend. He's taking on the Jacksonville Jags and Trevor Lawrence. Everything here makes you kind of want to bet the Jags plus 1.5. Two terrible teams, both 2-win teams. I'm going to take the Jags at home. I think the Jags are going to beat the Raiders. I think the Raiders are a really shitty football team. Other than Josh Jacobs, who they didn't even want on the roster. I don't know. And the other thing is, who's a huge fraud? Josh McDaniels. Sucked in Denver, screwed over the Colts. He was a decent play caller in New England, but, he's the offensive coordinator of a team with the greatest head coach in NFL history. Anytime he's on his own, he blows. And this offense sucks, other than Josh Jacobs, who's playing great right now because he wants one more NFL contract. I like the Jags here. I think the Jags are going to take care of business. I wouldn't be shocked if they still ended up winning that division. But Trevor Lawrence has been awful these last couple of weeks.
This is my son of a bitch. We should have got golden chicken tonight, game of the week. Yeah. And what I mean by that is the nights that you don't get golden chicken, you regret not getting golden chicken. Right?
Of course.
You regret not calling 414-427-5500. I'm going to take the Raiders and instantly regret it.
You know what's funny is that I do that all the time too. I'll just order something and I'll be like, shit, should have got this. Like right after I eat it. Like I'll get Chinese and be, I don't even really want Chinese. How about this one? Here's another game I bet. I love. I can't believe I'm saying this because they ruined my life. This team right here literally ruined my life, but not this version of them. Even though I hate Pete Carroll, I don't really hate Pete Carroll anymore. I feel like I'm kind of rooting for the Seahawks. I don't know if you know this about Geno Smith, Bart. They wrote him off.
How do you feel that Belichick can't win without Brady, but Carroll can win without Russell Wilson?
Geno is the real deal. He was
do you like Pats or Geno's better?
What?
Cheesesteak.
What?
I don't know, man.
Seahawks +2. I'm taking over the Arizona Cardinals, who suck.
I'm taking the Cardinals in this game.
No, they don't win it. They don't win or cover at home. When's the last time Arizona's won at home?
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Raiders, to me, I hate them both, and I think they both suck. But I feel like they're going to turn it around out of no reason. I think McDaniels is, I don't know, he's trying to fit square pegs in the round holes over there, running an offense with guys that don't fit it. And then Kingsbury, he is like the most depressing human to look at on earth.
More like Dingleberry. How bad does he want to be Ryan Gosling? Have you ever noticed that?
You walked into a party. Like you could be having the party of your life, like a quinceañera that's just a blast, or a bachelor party in Vegas, or a 40th wedding anniversary, and everyone there is looking around knowing that it is the time they're having the time. This is the best party they've ever been to. And then Cliff Kingsbury, and just the look of his face alone sends everyone into a maddening depression because the guy looks so sad. I'm so tired of him.
Yeah, man. Like, hey, let me ask you a question. If you could go to a nightclub, not a bar, a nightclub in Las Vegas with one NFL head coach, who would you go with?
Well, it'd be John and Franklin who's calling us. John.
What's up?
Hey, you're on live with me and Horvy.
What's up, John?
What's going on, Horvy? Killing it, man. You still slaying it out there?
Oh yeah. I'm just usually sitting in my apartment watching NFL Game Pass, being bored. I miss Wisconsin. I want to go to a fish fry with Bart tomorrow night.
Yeah, man, I've stumbled on some good ones lately. Man, there is some good fish fries around here, that's for sure.
They don't have any on the East Coast. There's no such thing as fish fry here. Do you guys know that?
No,
I've never been out that way, but it doesn't surprise me. A lot of things are kind of nichey to the areas,
Yep. Well, stay where you're at, where it's good. Sucks here.
Yeah, just until December 1st, and then maybe to Florida, and then back in April.
Oh, John.
Hey, John, why do the Packers suck so bad? And do you think that Matt LaFleur should be fired?
No. This isn't. Look. I don't think this is Matt LaFleur's fault for the most part. Okay. Look, I'm an old school guy. We were raised different, my generation, and it's a different generation now. And my generation ain't going to translate putting foots in asses in the NFL. Okay. We saw what happened with the guy with the defibrillator. He got bounced out of Tampa Bay.
Oh, you always hated that guy, Arians. You've always hated Arians.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I just went off on Cliff Kingsbury because I don't like the way his eyes look.
But look, Floor, I called him the soft talker and stuff, but I understand, and I'm a little pissed off that the wife's, got a crush on him. But what am I going to do? I'm 55 years old. I'm overweight. Yeah. Let her have her dream. But honestly, I don't think he's the problem. I think, I'm a little bit of a conspiracy theorist. Don't tell me that Gutekunst and Rodgers have mended all the fences and all is well. I'm wondering if Brian's just kind of hanging Aaron out there a little bit with all these almost got him, just missed it. How many times are we going to hear that when it comes to bringing a free agent in? It's getting old. He needs a new line.
Exactly. I'm so sick of the in the mix shit, to be honest with you. It's the worst, though. It's the Packers. The Packers, they were.
They were the leaders on Chase Claypool.
Packers had Khalil Mack. Packers had Tony Gonzalez, but they didn't want to give up a third-round pick. Just that's where it all started. I mean, it started way before that, Randy Moss, but a third-round pick, or was it a fourth-round pick? They didn't want to give up for Tony Gonzalez, who ended up having, 3-4 more great Pro Bowl seasons? I hate that I root for this team.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, don't forget about Khalil Mack. And I understand he didn't do a damn thing in Chicago, but look what he's doing now. Okay, because he knew he wasn't going to kill himself for a team that was going nowhere. I think it would have been a different story if we would have got him. And the thing is, if you bring in a young receiver, I didn't want Cooks. I wanted Claypool because it was a guy that could have stayed on for a few years for this whole end of the run with Rodgers and maybe into the transition to Love. It would have been a longer-term play, not just a one-year rental. So even if this year is a catastrophe, like it appears it's going to be, we could have him next year. It's not like the team couldn't reshuffle the deck chairs and be a lot better next year.
I agree.
Johnny, how do you feel about the game in Detroit?
Yeah, can we at least beat the Lions?
Excellent?
Ambivalent.
Oh.
I want us to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if we lost. I saw some things in the Bills game. I mean, they played with fight. I mean, that Bills defense, man, those suckers are terrorists. I mean,
I don't know, John. The Bills took it easy on us.
Well, they may have in the second half, but I mean, those guys can hit, man. When our guys were getting hit, I was cringing, you know. So I think, I mean, we all think it's a game we should win, but with this team, can you take anything for granted? Are we going to have any receivers healthy for this game, Bart?
Amari Rogers.
No, Alan Lazard's too busy hanging out at hockey games with Bart rather than taking the necessary therapy.
Yeah, I was at the Sabres game Saturday night. Alan Lazard was 2 rows ahead of me.
That's amazing.
And he stayed the whole game. He was like into it.
Why wasn't he on the sideline?
I don't know. Maybe if you don't play, you can go and do whatever the hell you want. I have a lot of questions about that, but who knows?
That is strange.
And no, it's not like another Packer was there with him. It's not like he had terrific seats. He's 2 rows ahead of me. Although I did pay, I paid up for the seats. This is my first hockey game, probably my last. I had fun.
Yeah.
And the Sabres are my team.
You're not going to the Blackhawks game in Milwaukee where everybody from Milwaukee pretends to be a Blackhawks fan?
Oh, that already happened, but I'm sure there'll be another one.
Oh, I didn't even know that the Blackhawks season started. I don't care. All
right, Johnny. Good to hear from you live, bud.
Hey, thanks for getting me on. Ryan, keep killing it out there. I hope you just bust Vegas. Do your thing, man.
Thanks, John. Take care, man.
See you, bud.
All right. I'm out.
John in Franklin's been doing a good job of calling consistently, but every voicemail he leaves, he's like, God, I hate doing these voicemails. He's like, I want to talk to you live. So I told him we'd be set up here. So good to hear from John.
That's my guy right there. Are you riding with me with the Seattle Seahawks and the Fighting
No,
Genos?
remember I took Sad Face McGee?
All right. Here's my special pick for you, Bart. This is my grab a knife because we may kill your fucking bookie this weekend. Pick of the week.
Goodness.
Maybe we'll
too hard to edit. I put these on YouTube.
Maybe we'll cut that out of the pod. I'm gonna take.
This is my grab these sweatshirt strings and choke out your bookie until he's red in the face. Pick of the week.
This is what we. So I feel like I'm on the West Side Story, you know. All right, I'm gonna take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to bounce back. They right now are 3-point favorites. I took them as 2.5-point favorites. I like that a lot more. If this gets to 3.5, I actually lean the Rams. Buccaneers are getting right. Brady's embarrassed. You know why he's been playing like crap? He was finalizing a divorce. You know what's now been finalized? That divorce. I got a question for you. Who does Tom Brady date next, do you think?
Pete Davidson.
I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to get right in Tampa and tee off on Matthew
Stafford. Fences with Bridget, or are they done? Are they never? Did she get remarried?
It's a good question. I don't know. Has she ever been in another movie since I, Robot, by the way?
What about if he started dating Olivia Munn?
What if he started dating Blue Earth? Then he becomes all goofy as shit and stinks too. I'm going to take I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to tee off on the Rams. Their starting center right now, he's like a former police officer. They just called off the street. Like, they're not good. Then they'll still probably end up getting OBJ. But give me Tampa Bay to bounce back this week. The Fighting Brady's. He's going to avenge the divorce.
Well, I know Tom's lost a lot of money in this divorce. I've probably lost just as much because I keep playing $20 entry DraftKings, stacking Buccaneers. Because at one of these weeks, Tom's going off for 5 touchdowns, and I want to be a part of it. And I'm taking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to boat race the Rams.
Love it. Sunday Night Football, the Kansas City Chiefs, 12.5-point favorites, taking on your Tennessee Titans. Both teams somehow 5-2. It's a big spread. I'm going to take the Chiefs to cover, though. I think the Chiefs are going to beat the living snot out of the Titans. It looks like Tannehill might play. Don't care. Mahomes might throw for 475 yards. Here's another take for you. Bills aren't winning the Super Bowl or even going. You know why? Chiefs are beating them in Buffalo. Mahomes is better than Josh Allen still.
I'd like the Titans to win on the money line.
Shut up. Okay. MVS is going to have 3 touchdowns.
Kadarius Toney's going to have 7. but Derrick Henry is going to run for 745 yards.
That's a good chance that does happen.
If I was the Titans, well, they're covering, first of all. 12.5 is way too much. 12.5? It should be like 6.5.
Nope. 12.5.
If I was the Titans, I would line up every play. I would not pass. I know they sort of did that with Malik Willis, but I would do it even with you know what? I wouldn't even play Tannehill. I would just run Henry out of Wildcat all night.
That ain't gonna work.
He's your ticket.
They're just gonna put 11 in the box then.
Yeah, and then he's gonna jump pass throw it to Eichenbrook and Heineken or whatever that guy's name is.
All right, so Monday Night Football. I'm betting. I love my Saints. I think the Saints are gonna win that division. I think they're gonna upset the Baltimore Ravens at home. Tough place to play. Lamar will have a 14-point lead, and then everything will fall apart in the fourth quarter. Give me the Saints. As long as Lattimore plays, they need to get him back. But right now they're plus 2.5. I want a 3, but give me the Saints. Who that say gonna beat them Saints?
This is my 24-hour catering pick of the week, because just like you can get 24/7 catering from Golden Chicken at goldenchickenhc.com, you can also give them a call, 414-427-5500. The city of New Orleans is open 24/7. And they are going to close down Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
Yep.
I honestly, historically, I might dislike the Saints more than a team like the Cowboys. I don't like the Saints. I don't like anything about them.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't like them. I'm tired of them. I don't like that the Superdome is different seat colors. I don't know what it is.
All right. It's about that time now. Packers, Lions. The Packers, 3.5-point favorites. You know what, man? It's very tempting to grab that 3.5, but here's the thing about the Detroit Lions, right? They fucking suck. Dan Campbell, I know all these meatheads like Dan Campbell. Here's the thing about Dan Campbell. He's a glorified gym teacher. That up-down biting kneecap shit is really cute when you're 0-0 in the preseason. When you're a 1-5, 1-6 football team, guys don't want to hear that nonsense. They don't have a quarterback that could throw the ball 20 yards down the field. They're going to rush for a lot of yards. I'm going to play Jamal Williams to score a touchdown and go over his rushing yards prop revenge game. He should still be in Green Bay. But I'm going to take the Packers. So the Packers are 0-5 this season against teams that are 500 or above, which is absolutely disgusting. But they're 3-0 against sub-500 teams, which the Lions obviously are. Detroit's terrible defensively. As bad as the Packers' defense has been, it's not been as bad as the Lions, who are 32nd in DVOA. They're 30th against the run. The Packers need to run the football. They need to open up the play action for Aaron Rodgers. But I like Aaron Rodgers, who covers as a divisional favorite 64% of the time. As a one-score favorite, covers 64% of the time. Matt LaFleur, after a loss, somehow still 85% against the spread. That's how much he covers. Give me the Green Bay Packers to right the ship against the Detroit Lions. But it's going to be close. 24-21, Mason Crosby kicks a game winner because that's Detroit, and that's just
so that they're not covering.
Oh, yeah. 27-21, Rodgers finds Samare Torre in the back of the end zone for a game winner.
It's just close enough because Freems, I think of Freems here. He would always take, if there's a divisional game and they're a 3-point dog, but with the hook, I don't know what he'd be taking here.
He'd be taking the Lions, and he'd probably be right. But, Packers need this one, man. They need it.
I'm going to take a push.
Is this your push of the week? It can't be a push. It's a 3.5.
I will take, regrettably, the Packers.
All right.
Because they are going to lose their next 3 games.
Yep.
So they're not going to lose 8 in a row.
They might.
Yeah, they might. They're losing to Dallas.
Yeah.
I'll put my center.
I don't know though. I don't know. Rodgers and LaFleur might really get up for that game though, with Big Mac coming to town.
Oh, they're losing, dude.
I was going to go to that game and January 1st against the Vikings, if they don't beat Detroit, I'm selling both sets of tickets. So if you know anybody that wants to go watch bad football, I got January 1st Vikings tickets. Really good seats, 50-yard line.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Packers to win, cover.
All right. Well, good episode.
One more game. One more game.
What?
The game that I am more excited about than any other game this weekend.
What?
My dog.
What?
Saturday afternoon.
Tennessee?
The
Georgia?
Tiffany Network. Tennessee, Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We got Tennessee as an 8-point dog, the number 1 team in the land.
Yeah.
Give me the fighting hookers.
I'm going to take Georgia to cover.
I just want Tennessee. That's the thing.
Me too.
I love different teams up there.
Me too. I'm hoping that gets down to 7. 8, I bet Tennessee really small, but I think that number is going to go down, and then I'm going to bet Georgia really big. I want a 7. Couple picks I really like this weekend, man. Notre Dame +4. Notre Dame's going to beat Clemson, and as a college football fan, you should be rooting for that because you don't want to see this.
It's in Notre Dame. Oh, dude, on my way, I drove by Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And I took the exit and tried to see the football field. You can't see shit.
No, I know. It sucks. It sucks, dude. Give me Notre Dame +4. New Mexico.
And we played the Rudy music as we were driving through the campus with our windows down, like we were the first people to ever do that.
You guys. Yeah,
I was listening to a mixed CD I made 20 years ago, and it sucked. So it's currently somewhere on the Notre Dame campus. I littered.
All right, man. Well, this was a lot of fun. I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend.
My favorite part was when you threatened to kill a bookie with a knife.
Gotcha.
All right, Horvat. Thanks, buddy.
Hey, see you, man.